What time is it?
9 p.m.
That can't be right. The sky is blue.
This is what 9 p.m. is like here.
Midsommar is a movie that I was really, really highly looking forward to. Actually, probably one of my most anticipated movies of the year because I loved Hereditary. I thought that movie was great. I loved every, weird piece of, crazy man idea that it had and that it put forward. I loved all of it. I thought it was all fantastic. So I was naturally, when I started seeing some footage from Midsommar, I was like, ooh, okay, it's kind of like The Wicker Man, the good one. And after I was done watching, I was reminded a lot of the remake of Wicker Man, which is not necessarily a good thing, but I don't know, this movie is just so weird. I really don't know what to say. It's just so... Alright, let me start with this. So the movie is the story of a woman named Dani, who's played by Florence... I know I'm going to get her name wrong. I want to say it's Pugh or Pugh. It's probably Pugh. So Florence Pugh is in a rocky relationship with her boyfriend Christian. And to try and mend it, they decide, okay, I'm going to tag along with you and your friends on this trip to Sweden that you're going to. And listen, I'm just going to throw this out there. Just because I would do something or would not do something, and characters in a movie do, I don't necessarily see that as a knock against the characters. Just because they think differently than I would, that's not a knock, because I'm often wrong, so maybe my way of thinking isn't necessarily right. But, I cannot think of any situation where I would have agreed to go on this trip in the fucking first place. Alright, so they have this, Swedish friend, his name is Pele, I think? Pele, I was he didn't do any bicycle kicks, but, so Pele is he's hey guys, I got some family that live in Sweden, or a little commune. How would you guys like to come? And, they're all, a group of anthropologists, and two of them are hell yeah, man, we could do, our college thesis reports on your little commune. And he's yeah, absolutely, come on down. Do it. And I was I would never, even if I was an anthropology major, I don't think I would have ever agreed to go on this trip, because I would have been hey, yeah, little funny thing here, looking at some photographs that you've shown me here, I've seen enough documentaries on Heaven's Gate, the Branch Davidians, Jonestown, Waco, whatever you want. I've seen enough of it. That's a cult. No thanks. Especially when you find out they're putting pubes in the pie. I'm out. So I wouldn't have gone. But the fact that the characters in this movie do decide to go to Sweden to make sure that the movie happens, I don't necessarily begrudge them for that. So anyway, they go on this trip, and the minute they get there, things start getting fucking trippy and weird. Everybody's kind of a few degrees off normal, and that's just off enough for you to be unsettled, and that's my favorite part of the movie. Now granted, it does get kind of crazy in a couple of parts, but it's pretty consistent throughout the movie, as things are just sort of a little level dread, which I liked. But what I didn't like, and actually my least favorite part of this movie, is it's way too goddamn long. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes, and the first 2 hours goes by in a blink. It's amazing, actually. I happened to take a look at my phone, because I am a disobedient boy, and I was doing that, and I was oh shit, 2 hours, okay, sweet. This movie was flying by, and 2 hours went by like that. I swear to God, a blink of an eye. I was really invested in what was going on. And then, oh my God, it dragged to a crawl. Oh, it was ridiculous. I was sitting there, and I was okay, just move on to something. Yes, I get it. Everybody's naked. Cool. Ari Aster, you like nudity. Sweet. Look, yes, there's a vast amount of vaginas on the screen right now. Congratulations. Can we please move on to something? Can you please do something with them? Then it becomes just a very prolonged sex scene. And not that I have a problem with that, but it's just, again, when you're already like, okay, I know where you're going. Can you please just move on? Can you please just move on to something? And I think my ultimate problem with this movie was the exact same problem that I had with Hereditary. As much as I loved Hereditary, both of these films have the problem of they have a punch, they have an oomph, they have moments where you're like, oh, damn, all right, yeah, all right, I see what you're doing. And then after you do that, what you're supposed to do is you move on to the next thing, okay? It's like, you've had your punch. It's like, okay, now we're going to move on until we give you another one, and then, okay, we move on, and then we give you another one, and that's how it should work. Now, in Hereditary and subsequently in Midsommar, what happens often is you have your punch, and then it's like, hey, did you see that punch? Yes, I see that punch. Can you go on to something else, though? No, but did you see the punch we did? There's a punch going on. Yes, I know. Can we please move on to something else? No. We want you to look at this. We're gonna do it in slow motion now. You see, like, look at this punch. Isn't this cool? But in conclusion, I honestly don't know. There's a lot of wailing in this movie. Florence Pugh wails a lot. More wailing in this movie than there is in the movie called The Wailing, which is interesting. And of course, I mean screams of agony and not using a harpoon to capture very large sea mammals. I feel like the ending is a bit odd, which kind of goes into the whole, this movie is odd, it was made by an odd man, but I'm an odd man, so I guess I was just kind of destined to like it. I don't know. Maybe when I'm a little more thoughtful, I can better explain myself.
I was most excited for you to come.
Holy piss! Has it really taken me this long to figure out what I think of Midsommar? Yes, but there's a reason. I'm insane. Alright, so I'm gonna level with y'all, be completely transparent here. I have no idea what I said in my rambling stream of conscious nonsense. I didn't watch it back, so I don't know if there's anything that I need to clarify from what I said there, and quite frankly, I don't care. I just want to make a few final points on Midsommar and then move on with my life. Number 1, Ari Aster's director's cut. You know something? Part of me is glad that it has taken me this long to record my clear and concise thoughts on this film, because I recently heard that Ari Aster wants to release a director's cut of this film that is 3 hours and 40 minutes long. And if he did something like that, it would be the scariest thing he would ever release. Because let me tell you something. I cannot conceive of a world line in which any version of me that could ever possibly exist would sit through nearly 4 hours of this. I'll ask you, Ari, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with 4 hours, huh? Are you gonna have the sex scene be an hour long? Does that make it more impactful? I jest. Number 2, did I like this movie or not? Yes. Maybe. I don't know. It's weird. I still don't know what I thought about Midsommar, but the thing is, I haven't stopped thinking about it. This movie is just so densely packed with character and interesting imagery and cool concepts. I think that Hereditary is a better movie than this, but I don't think I spent nearly as much time thinking about Hereditary after I saw it as I have with Midsommar. There's just so many things to like about it. I love the image of the pistils of the flowers on her flowery headdress that she wears contracting, because you know that the pistil is the female part of the flower and Ari Aster is a sex-crazed loon. Now, of course, it would be very easy to just call this movie Wicker Man 2, based on the cult and the bear costumes, all for the sake of some very easy jokes, which reminds me, wouldn't it have been hilarious if instead of putting her pubes in the pie, she put the bees? Not the bees. Do you understand the point I'm making, though? The key is seeing Chidi from A Good Place in this film playing basically the same character is the most distressing thing in the movie, and Ari Aster should be ashamed. Number 3. Seriously, did I like this movie or not? Yes. And I could probably sit here for another 3 hours and 40 minutes explaining how I'm not 100% on board with that definitive statement, but for the sake of my own sanity, we're gonna say yes, and we're gonna move on. So, thank you for watching. If you're new here, consider subscribing, and if you like the video, smash that like button, but do it thoughtfully and slowly from multiple angles, and hold on the button a little longer than you normally would. You get it? Those are jokes. Until next time, my decent friends. Toodles.